So this is the Moto Edge 30 Pro, and a lot of you would be surprised by it. Flagship phone from Motorola, and also the first device to have Motorola's MyUX based on Android 12. And most importantly, is it worth spending 45,000 for Motorola considering you have Samsung S21 FE and OnePlus 9 RT as well? And see here on paper, it is actually better than S21 FE and OnePlus 9 RT. But you don't spend 50,000 based on paper specs. You spend it after you watch TechWiser's videos, so subscribe to see more and hit the bell icon as well. Well, this is Pratik, you're already watching TechWiser, and I use this Moto Edge 30 Pro as my primary phone for 10 days so I can have a good and helpful practical review, like the way you would use this phone. Now, let's start with the things I liked about the device. Like number one, right off the bat, software experience. See here, have a look. This is the Pixel 6 and this is Moto Edge 30 Pro. And the notification, app drawer, settings menu, they look exactly the same. The true Android 12 experience, which Google designed, is there on this Moto Edge 30 Pro. Also, it is the first device to have Motorola's MyUX with Google's Material You implementation. And I've tried so many Android 12 phones like Vivo V23, Samsung S21 FE, and a lot of them. All of them had some or the other bugs or UI jitters. But this Moto Edge 30 Pro, no bugs at all. Like, see, browsing this menu, using YouTube, all of it, there's rarely any bug. Haptic feedback is really good. See, like you get a notification here. See, the vibration is also strong. I didn't miss any notification. Now, my favorite feature is Ready for 3.0. See here, you can connect your phone to the PC, scan, and done wirelessly. Now you can wirelessly use your phone as a PC, but now they have also updated the app, and the good thing is you can run it at full screen. Like here, my laptop has a 2K screen, so I can run Ready for at 2K resolution. Plus, you can just right click on any file and send it to your phone. So that ecosystem thing is really good. And it's good to see Motorola is actually working on this feature and improving it. Most of the time, companies just take up a feature and dump it after a year. Of course, you can now use your phone as an emulator and play games on Windows PC as well. And this is very feature rich. It will take one whole video to explain the Moto UI features to you. But yes, I love the UI entirely. It is pixel-like only in terms of software, so keep that in mind. And another thing Moto has really worked on is the camera. Like for numbers, you get 50 megapixel main camera plus 50 megapixel ultra wide angle camera plus 60 megapixel selfie camera. But these are numbers. See, the photos in good daylight come out actually really good. Like you have enough details and it feels like a flagship photo. Like see here, this Mrinal picture, like the skin tone is just so natural. And in fact, I was shooting a reel the other day. I use 4K 30 FPS. And if you look at Manu's skin tone and the video quality, it's so good. And see, actually one of the few phones where you see open the camera, keep on pressing the camera button, it just keeps on taking photos. It's so fast. There is zero shutter lag. And just like this, you should press the like button as well with zero shutter lag. Now, the only thing is when there's low light, the camera becomes inconsistent. There is a lot of noise, grain, and in fact, at times, it doesn't even collect that much light. And very rare, like 1 out of 10 times, the colors get a bit inconsistent. It shifts from being natural to a bit boosted. Like see this flower photo over here? It turned from purple to blue or indigo. But it doesn't look like that in real life. And we'll talk about the front camera in just a moment. But this quick fluidity speed, legendary performance comes from the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. It is the cheapest phone to bring latest 2022 flagship processor under 50,000. And along with, you get other flagship specs like 8GB LPDDR5 RAM and UFS 3.1 storage. And yes, it is better in performance compared to S21 FE or OnePlus 9 RT because it is the latest Snapdragon 2022 chip. But then with Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, major question is, does it overheat? Well, listen carefully now. Mostly it doesn't overheat, and in day-to-day usage, it never overheated for me. There was just one moment when I was attending a Twitter space and it heated up. But apart from that, I usually play games like 15-30 minutes. I'm a casual gamer. I just play to distract myself. So in that limited span time, it's manageable heat. Normal day-to-day usage, it never overheated. Like it was never at that point that the game started lagging or apps are shutting down. it didn't happen. But after 15 to 20 minutes of gaming, the back portion over here gets warm quickly. Like, it's not uncomfortable to hold, but a lot of Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 phones are coming with a cooling layer because that helps control the heat. So Moto has optimized the heat, but it does get a bit of warm. It has USB 3.1 port. Very few phones have it. So Motorola has zero compromises in performance, hardware or software. Now, another good thing is, see this? This is 10-bit footage and the viewing angles, everything is so good, like on point. Now, one thing I found out that the display does look bright outdoors under bright sunlight, but peak brightness is just 700 nits. And interestingly, if you see here side by side with OnePlus 9 RT, I couldn't find a difference under direct sunlight or in outdoor conditions. So it does a good job. You get Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the front and Corning Gorilla Glass 5 on the back. Now, it doesn't make any difference in real life. Like, I used the phone without cover or scratch guard and I didn't see any huge scratches or dents. Oh, also the stereo speakers are really good. Like, initially in the first impression, I didn't realize this had Dolby Atmos, but you can customize the music accordingly. Like, see, listen to this portion. You can now make it bass boost like now. See how deep the bass gets? And even this works in TWS and headphones. Like, normally I listen to headphones at 50-60% volume, but with Moto Edge 30 Pro, I didn't cross more than 40%. Like, the volume output is loud. Okay, small information. Motorola has a glass plus plastic frame. So this is sort of glass-stick frame. And to add to that, the battery life is phenomenal. Like, I've been getting 6 to 7 hours of screen on time on heavy usage. Like, using this phone for 6 to 7 hours to watch YouTube videos and even gaming half an hour. Plus, you get 68-watt charger which can charge from 0 to 100 in a crazy 20 minutes. And you go 0 to 100 in about 50 minutes. Also, you get 15-watt wireless charging, plus you can reverse wireless charge your TWS or watch. So those all things are flagship level. Now, of course, just like you and me, there are cons in this device as well. First, number one, see, the front selfie camera seems inconsistent. If you shoot outdoors, the photos are sharp, good. Even the skin tone most of the time comes out accurate. But when I take a portrait mode photo, see here side by side, there's a difference in the skin tone as well. And even when you step inside in indoor lights, there is a lot of noise in the photos. And one interesting thing I noticed, hold on, see, have a look at my footage. It's somehow very grainy and weird, and it happens only on WhatsApp. It works fine with Google Meet. Now the point here is this WhatsApp thing will be updated via software update, but as of now, my job here is to tell you what's there. Plus, look, this is the main photo. It's so wide, and if you go to video, there's like a lot of crop. Now it does let you shoot 4K video on the front camera, which is excellent, but the crop in the video is quite a lot, so you have to hold your phone a bit far. Next up, you get a plastic frame. Like, in this range, you should have a metal frame. And now lots of talk on in-display fingerprint or a physical fingerprint scanner. See, as long as it is fast enough, I don't mind. But see here, it's too top. Like, if I hold the phone this way, I have to reach here to unlock the phone. I mean, just as a feedback for Motorola, the button should be a lot lower. Even if the phone is small, these high placed buttons make it feel big. And see, the volume button is way higher than the power button. Like, I have used the phone for 10 days, but I still find it odd to reach the volume button at here top. Now finally, Moto Edge 30 Pro has a price tag of 49,999. And with SBI credit card offer, you get it for 44,999. Now at that price, if you compare it with OnePlus 9 RT or S21 FE, Moto Edge 30 Pro just beats them on paper. And even in reality, it's a really good phone. But is it better than S21 FE? Software? Yes. Charging? Yes. Battery? Yes. Camera? No. Software updates? No, not yet. See, Moto is now promising 2 years of software updates and 3 years of security updates. And older Moto phones have started receiving updates now by the end of February or in March 2022. And these things will take time. Like, Moto has improved a lot, agreed. Like, this hands down is the best Moto phone or one of the best Android experience phone right now in the market. So the point here is, for any brand to enter the flagship segment, it takes 2 to 3 years. So it is a good start for Motorola as of now. So if you want a smartphone with pixel-like software experience with flagship hardware under budget, this is a good option. But for a better camera, I would say Samsung S21 FE makes more sense. On that note, this is Pradeep signing off. Hope this video was helpful. See you pretty soon.